Hello and welcome to the latest edition of New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, direct from our newsroom, otherwise known as my Compost Heap. Let's see what stories we're working on at this hour. Well, we're wiping the slate clean in Connecticut as of January 1st. 44,000 people had low-level marijuana convictions, getting tossed off the record so they have a chance at a more productive life. Now, under that law, it was supposed to be a lot more people, twice, maybe more, but it's been hard because it's complicated to figure out who qualifies. And the Lamont administration was so focused on getting reelected this past year and pandering to constituencies with some bad policy, they didn't have the political will to make this happen in time. Talking about political will, look at all these chargers and outlets. It's time to charge up all our devices and vehicles so we can have a carbon neutral and carbon free future. Well, you know, where's the political will for that? All these politicians, policymakers say, we're going to commit, we voted, we're declaring we're going to be carbon neutral by 2040, or this is the new policy of the city. What happens when you actually make the decision? This past week, the city moved ahead a proposal to buy $4.5 million in new vehicles, a whole new fleet for police and fire. And none of it's electric, because a very real problem we're working on is how do you charge all those at one time so they can get them back on the road. So instead of taking our time, getting it right, check with cities like New York are trying to figure it out, we're condemning another generation's vehicles for the opposite policy of what I said, believing because of a lack of political will. Well, boy, does a year go by fast, folks. The calendar, month after month, before you know it, it's December. And imagine if for the mayor of New Haven, where it's only a 2-year term for mayor, Justin Ellicott gave the oath of office in January. And this week already, only 11 months later, he announced he's running for re-election. He was right to if he wants to run again because of that 2-year cycle. There are 4 other people who are very seriously considering and going around having the same conversations. That's because our charter needs to be changed. And in 2023, we can do that if we have the political will, because once every 10 years, we get to amend the charter. This process is starting now. And we can have a 4-year mayor term, so that they have time to assemble a team, put in policies, and avoid, unfortunately, because they're human beings, short-term decisions to get reelected that hurt us in the long run. Meanwhile, we can keep the alders at 2 years, Board of Alders. They're like our Congress. Just like in Congress, the president has 4 years, and every 2 years you can try to keep them honest in a congressional election. Until next time. And oh, that's right, now I got my computer on my phone. Talk about political will to hold mega landlords who want all this properties subsidized, try to keep them honest. Well, the city tried doing that carrot and stick last week. Let's see how it worked out by the numbers. Ocean Management owns all his property. A lot of it is illegally in bad shape. So the city cracked down with some inspections. And they went to court, and the state prosecuting judge said 25 different violations. You have to pay a fine of $6,250 total. So Ocean was keeping people criminally in bad situations. So $6,250, that's the stick. Meanwhile, there's a carrot. Ocean owns all this property on Dixwell Avenue that they left crumbling and vacant for 6 years, while all around it, New Haven's trying to rebuild a commercial corridor, so they want that property back, so they'd like to buy it back. So they said, we'd like to buy it back from you. But guess what? In addition to what we're saying the property's really worth, we're going to add $350,000 to the price. We're going to pay that extra $350,000 as an incentive. That's your bonus, that's your reward for holding us hostage and screwing up our city. So now you know you can do that elsewhere. So, what a great precedent. We have $6,250 trying to crack down on $350,000 prize for being a bad property owner. If there is a mayor election this year, maybe that's something that could be a debate about how to find the political will. Until next time, this is the New Haven Independent Vlog News Summary, and remember, always pick up your trash.